Now, preparations are underway at the Sisa Dukashe Stadium in Mdantsane, and this is ahead of the funeral of two-time world boxing champion Zolani Lasbon Dede tomorrow. Now, Dede was gunned down outside his home last Friday and is being honored with a special provincial official funeral, Category 2. Tributes continue to pour in for the champion who died young but left a lasting mark on the sport. Meanwhile, as Women's Month draws to a close, we reflect on 10 years of TLB Boxing Promotions with its founder, Joyce Kungwane, who is here with me in studio looking amazing, busy as ever. Before we get to this very incredible milestone, I want us to chat a little bit about Lasbon, Zolani Dede. You were very close, you know, and I saw even on one of your social media pages where you sent a message, you know, just honoring his life. You were also at the Orient Theatre for the memorial service. This life that was cut so short.
Yeah. Indeed, and it's so sad that he had to die the way he died. I mean, as a sports person, nobody ever thought a person could be killed in that fashion. It's so sad. We were hoping that because remember his suspension was uplifted after the 4 years ban from the substance. And we were hoping that his upliftment would bring him back. I mean, Tete was a man of action. We all enjoyed watching him. I was saying to somebody the other day that he's actually in the Guinness of Records, in that he actually had a KO of 11 seconds. And this is something that as boxing people would never forget.
No, absolutely, you know, and, you know, speaking of Dede, in terms of the boxing fraternity, what are you understanding? Because there are just so many questions that, you know, the country, the world is asking about because he was so loved. What would have led to this?
Honestly speaking, we don't want to get into speculations. There's just so many stories, especially in the media. And personally, I would not want to even go there because how is it going to assist us? It's not going to bring him back. And I always believe that when it's time for somebody to leave this earth, they're well. The question most of the times is the how part of it. And nobody knows how they're going to leave this earth. And all we can say is we're going to miss the good times, we're going to miss his actions in the ring, and whatever he put, I mean, out there, he had started something that he was doing to help and develop the young ones in the Eastern Cape. And we hope that those that he was working with, they will continue with the job that he had started. And we're going to miss him. I mean, I was looking at, you know, when we heard about his passing on Friday, it was Friday evening, and I was taken aback to 2021. Remember when we lost Little Honolo Dwava, he passed on a Friday evening. And the fact that when Tete went to fight for his IBF, he was supported. Actually, he was with Little Honolo in his corner. And then I said that was a great move, actually, from his manager, who requested Lidwaba to be in the corner. I'm like, he knows Lidwaba was, he knew Lidwaba was, he's a former IBF champion, and that was going to be transfused to him. And it worked. It was a great show that he put out there. And as I'm saying, the two champs, IBFs, will meet.
No, absolutely. Very beautiful words that you've spoken of there, especially in your Hands of Stone, who was an incredible part of your life as well. It's going to mark, what, 5 years?
10 years.
10 years.
A decade.
Yeah, it's really is such a long time.
It's a milestone.
Talk, about TLB, you know, just also being a woman in this space. Has it gotten any easier over the years?
Never. It never. Look, I would say from the beginning, we had thought that it was going to be easy. You know, I'm saying when you enter into business or when you start business, nobody tells you that it's not easy, it's not going to be easy, it's going to have its challenges. But as a woman, because I know that time there were very few female promoters, and the fact that I started it with the 4 males, I had thought that it was going to be easy for me, all to find that I had to push it as a woman. I held it as a woman, and that's why we are where we are today as TLB Boxing Promotions.
And before we look at the highlights, you speak about these challenges. Maybe let's paint a picture, you know, because there will be young women who are also looking up to you and saying, if I am thinking of entering the space, what are some of the challenges that I may encounter along the way?
It's not easy to secure sponsorships. And also the bullying, you know, the bullying is everywhere. And if you're not strong or you don't have a strong character, you might be shaken and you end up leaving. So I did not make it easy for anybody. Yeah. I mean, even today, I refuse to be bullied because I know who I am and I know why I'm here. And also considering the boxers that we take care of. I mean, if I give up, then it means many boxers are going to suffer. They depend on boxing for their living. And if they don't fight, then it means there's no money for them into the pockets.
And of course, as Joyce Kungwane, you've always said one of the biggest things you want to do is to create more, you know, female boxing champions. Just in terms of the highlights, when you look at the past 10 years, what would some of those be, especially in terms of, you know, bringing us the all-women fights that we've seen? Oh.
Yes, look, when I joined, actually when we started TLB Boxing Promotions, this is what I said to the team when we were still 5. And I said to them, there's no way that we're going to have an event without female boxers. Little Honolo was reluctant because he didn't believe in women fighting. And it's not only him. I mean, a lot of people don't believe in females getting into the ring. And I said, you know what, we're not going to have any tournament without females. And if you can check with our first tournament, we had 2 bouts of females. And we've been consistent as TLB Boxing Promotions. We were not even told by Boxing South Africa. By the way, you know, recently Boxing South Africa is enforcing it on the promoters to say, please make sure that when you put a tournament, at least have 1 bout of female. I mean, as TLB Boxing Promotions, way back, nobody said that to us. But as a woman, I felt that it's important that we make sure, because a lot of people did not even know that there were female boxers. I remember in 2021, when we put out all-female in Polokwane, and when we were the exciting one, and people were like, what are you talking about? And until we took it out there, and thanks to SABC, that people actually started to know about the female boxers.
And especially even, you know, some of the fights and the bouts that we've also had just here at the Renaissance, you know, that was the work of your hands.
I was telling my girl, Eunice, the one that I'm with right now, to say, yo, we made the place small. It was exciting, and look, we wish that it can happen again.
No, absolutely. And speaking of that, looking into the future, the next 10 years, what do you have your sights on? You know, what kind of barriers are you still looking to break, even more of those?
The 10 years was more of saying, who is TLB? And the next 10 years is to say we have landed. I mean, we have done our work. We have told people who we are. It's now that it's time that we fly. We fly our flag high. And the challenges that we have encountered, especially the financials, we are saying it's time that we engage with the real corporate sponsors to say, come and be part of us, come and assist us as TLB Boxing Promotions so that we can help the boxers. Remember, it's not even about us, it's about helping. I mean, it's job creation for us. So many people depend on sports for their income, And if they're not doing, I mean, boxing is not like soccer. Soccer, somebody can be on a bench for 2 years, but they still get paid. With boxing, if you don't get into a ring, then it means there's no salary for you. So we want to say to the corporate and everybody else who is interested to come and invest in TLB Boxing Promotions so that we can make this work easier.
That was such a beautiful way to just pause our conversation there. You've been so busy. Last weekend, you were in Sun City for the SA Sports Awards. You just came back from Kukombo City, yes, for the memorial service. So we truly are honored that you were able to grace us here in studio. That was, of course, Joyce Kungwane, the director of TLB Boxing Promotions, celebrating an incredible 10 years, a decade, an incredible milestone. We'll leave it there for now from the sports desk, but the full view will continue shortly after this.